Hello everyone, my name is Maya, but you guys know me as horrojabi. I'm a TikToker who does all sorts of scary videos on my TikTok, from true crime to paranormal stuff, but you are now on my YouTube channel.
You're so golden.
So I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm bringing these videos back, hopefully with a consistent schedule. That's all I can say right now. I just got really busy and that's why I haven't been posting. But let's talk about today's topic. Today's topic is the Zodiac Killer, and I've been super duper excited to make this video for you guys because I think his story is so freaking cool, and it has so many details and so many codes that have been broken, and I really need to share this with you guys. Quick note before I begin, major trigger warning for the story, as it contains a lot of talk of murder and guns and shooting and all that type of stuff. So if that sort of things trigger you, please click off this video and you could check out any other video I have made before. So without further ado, let's move on with the video. So who was the Zodiac Killer? The Zodiac Killer is an unidentified American serial killer who was believed to have committed 37 murders over his timeline of a killing spree. Now, in December of 1968, a young couple, 17-year-old David Faraday and 16-year-old Betty Lou Jensen, were both shot and murdered near their vehicle in North San Francisco. And that was the first murder to launch the entire Zodiac Killer timeline. Now, 1 year later, on July 5th, 1969, another couple, 22-year-old Darlene Farron and 19-year-old Mike McGaw, were both shot under the same circumstances near their vehicle by, presumably, the Zodiac Killer. But in this case, Mike had survived the incident. Now, the Zodiac Killer was an extremely smart person, and he always calculated every move he made. So he sent a letter shortly after the second murder he had committed to two news outlets, the exact same letter to the two news outlets, describing the murder scene and including details only the murderer would know about the case, and threatened further attacks if both letters were not printed on the front page by the next day, which obviously they were printed. But that did not stop him from further attacking and killing more people. Now, it is very important to mention that at the end of every single letter, he'd include a symbol, which is now the universally known symbol of the Zodiac Killer, which is a circle with a cross going through it. He would also include in every single letter one part of a 3-part cipher, claiming that after they crack it, they would get his identity. But there's no update on that until later on. Now, after the police and the FBI started frantically trying to solve the case and crack the cipher code, he sent another letter to another news outlet about his third murder of the time. But this time, he started off the letter with, "Dear editor, this is the Zodiac speaking." So he learned that people gave him the name Zodiac and started using it very often. And in this letter, he again included very gruesome details about the murder he had committed the day before. A couple of days later, after the third letter was sent in, a high school teacher who goes by the name Donald Hardin and his wife were able to solve the first cipher, which ended up saying, "I like killing people because it's so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all." That was the first cipher that was solved throughout this entire timeline. And obviously, it did not reveal anything about his identity like he said he would. But again, remember that he is very smart and knows what he's doing. The fourth murder he committed in 1969 was of a taxi driver named Paul Stein. And the letter that he sent about this murder also included very gruesome and detailed sentences about this murder. But he also included a bloody section of Stein's shirt. At the end of this letter, he did not threaten a further attack. He threatened a bus of children. So this time, it was getting more specific than the last letter he had sent. Now, throughout his future letters, he'd start mocking the police and the FBI for not being able to figure out who he was, because he thought he was being very blatantly obvious about who he was, and he lived his life like a normal man, but no one was ever able to find him. And of course, there were sketches made about his face, because a lot of people had survived some of the attacks that he had committed. But they never got anywhere with it, and they never caught anyone for who he was. In 1974, the letters had stopped coming in, but the investigation never stopped. In fact, it is still going on to this day in 2021. The search for the Zodiac Killer is still going on. Although he is almost 100% already dead or had passed away or just really, really old and isn't committing murders anymore, obviously. But they're still determined to find out who he was or is. Now I'm going to move on to 3 very big and significant theories that came out after this chain of murders happened, in which 3 people were accused of being him, but remember, he was never caught and was never revealed for who he was because no one could ever find out who. So the first person who is accused of being the murderer is a man called Arthur Leigh Allen. A true crime author wrote 2 separate articles about the Zodiac Killer, and during his excessive research and everything he ever did to include in the article, he had come to his own conclusion of a theory that the man called Arthur Leigh Allen was the Zodiac Killer because he looked sort of similar to the sketch that they put out of him and nothing else really. But unfortunately, Allen passed away in 1992 and he was never attached to any consecutive murder or any murder really at all. So the police did not take that as an important detail to the murders. In 2014, a man named Harper Collin published a book titled The Most Dangerous Animal of All, like in the first cipher they had solved, where he claims that his father, Earl Van Best Jr., was the Zodiac Killer because of their freakishly same facial features. That's all the proof he had. Only the fact that he resembled the sketches. So again, it was not taken into any importance or as any proof for the murders. Now, the most significant and most realistic theory that was believed by many officers at the time is that in 2014, a man came forward and claimed that his friend Louis Myers had confessed to being the Zodiac Killer before he passed away in 2002. Now, Louis' past matched up a lot with the incidents that had happened with the Zodiac Killer, like his location at the time, his age, his facial features. He was very, very similar to the sketches of the Zodiac Killer. But because he had passed away, there was no concrete evidence that he had done anything, and they could not get a recorded or written confession by him or by the man, because any person can come up with anything saying, oh, my friend confessed to doing that. They had no concrete evidence, so they also let it go the same way they let go Allen's and Earl's. I personally believe that it could very much be Louis Myers because it sounds the most realistic, but that's way ahead of his time. He passed away 19 years ago. We can't do anything about it anymore. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the most recent update about the situation. And the most recent update actually happened in 2020, so not long ago. Almost 50 years after the last letter was sent, amateur code breakers were able to break one of the many ciphers attached to the letters. Now, keep in mind, this is a very confusing letter because they were only able to break certain words to attach them all together into one paragraph. I'm going to read it, but you can look up the explanation yourself because there are many people who explain it differently, and I don't want to give you guys a fake one. So it said, I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. That wasn't me on the TV show, which brings up a point about me. I'm not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise. All the sooner, because I now have enough slaves to work for me where everyone else has nothing. When they reach paradise, they are afraid of death. I'm not afraid, because I know that my new life will be an easy one in paradise of death. So I think he was trying to say that he is not afraid of being executed, gas chamber, or he is not even like afraid of being caught and dying because he thinks it's easier for him, or he's just trying to freak out the investigators and the FBI. But the letter makes a lot of people uncomfortable, including me, because imagine hearing someone say, I'm not afraid of death. Death would be paradise for me. I'm not afraid of execution. It's just a really overall unsettling letter. Now that was everything I was able to find about the Zodiac Killer and his timeline. I want to hear what you guys think about it. I want to hear your own theories, and I want to hear just what you think about it. If you think he was smart, if you don't think he was smart, if you think he's still alive, if he's dead, just tell me anything and everything that comes to your mind about this murder case. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video the same way I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys find the story as interesting as I did. If you want me to talk about a specific story or do research on a topic that you want me to talk about, please write it down in the comments. Tell me what you think about this video. You guys should follow my TikTok and my Instagram, which are both at horrojabi, the same way as my YouTube, and y'all should subscribe and click the notification button, because apparently YouTube does not give people a notification of me posting unless you turn on the notification bell. So you should definitely do that. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.